Now, the success of New Wish is not because of one character, two characters to be specific, Hazel and Dab. The reason why they're so successful in the relationship and understanding of both characters is the fact how they introduce both characters slowly. In fact, the first couple of episodes, you have to admit, it's a little clunky on purpose because they want you to show the development of Hazel and also the development of Dab. But these two characters seem really familiar. What was I? Oh yeah, the original Fairy Odd Parents, the final season. Because you don't know, it's kind of hard if you don't know because of not Hazel, Chloe and Timmy. Because Chloe and Timmy has the same dynamic as Hazel and Dab. But the reason why Timmy and Chloe does not work is the fact it's sort of episodic. Given that they have the chance to reintroduce Chloe as the first time or the season finale of Fairy Odd Parents, they just didn't know what to do with her, even that it's sort of clear what they're actually doing. Because Timmy was sort of a horrible kind of person. You can say he's kind when he pure pressure. Then he realized he actually did something completely wrong, and he attempted to fix it by giving something back. That's the only time you see Timmy becoming a good person, just as sort of regrets. But Chloe is completely opposite to Timmy, and this is sort of the idea of it to complement Timmy to give him sort of unconscious and add more conflict because Chloe is supposed to be the nice little girl who think of other people besides us. And that is sort of the same motif as Hazel. But this is the kicker. The reason why sort of Hazel kind of fails two specific reasons. I mean, not Hazel, Chloe. Is the fact Chloe, you tell us she nice. That's fine if you have no choice in respective. Because sometimes you have to tell us than showing us. But the only problem is that every time you show us, it doesn't feel right. It doesn't really feel that important. And even that, the concept feels sort of pointless because it sort of subtracts what she tries to do. And I think that's sort of the major problem of Chloe. That they just didn't know how to execute Chloe like Hazel. And that is sort of really obvious, especially that Chloe supposed to be sort of good chemistry with Timmy because it can actually does work compared to Hazel and Dab to compare to Timmy and Chloe because they have the same basically backstory, not backstory, the same sort of dynamic. But why it didn't work is sort of obvious. Is the episodes are just episodic. It didn't allow them to actually grow the character. Did not introduce or figure out how that character could work. Because the original series, you don't really try and remember what happened of the other episodes because it's not really important. It's the now. This is the reason why the intro is super important because they try to give you what's going on, a general idea of the show. And they just introduce or show you in the middle of the characters what they're doing. And that's is pretty understandable why they sort of struggle to deliver that dynamic. Now, before I continue breaking even more about both different kids, my name is Rachel. I like to talk about animation, not just animation, do reviews, first impressions, cartoon theories, and sometimes, if I have some spare time, cartoon breaking news. Of course, you like how it's going and like to help my channel, put like, comment, and subscribe. That's the only thing you need to do. If not, that's cool. If you do, if you like how it's going, do help. Thank you. Because of you, I ain't getting close to my main goal of 2,000 subscribers. And yes, I ain't getting close every single day because of people who put like, comment, and share. Thank you. I am completely grateful. Now let's kind of break down the reason why Chloe and Timmy fail as a dynamic and why Hazel and Dab work so well. Now let's get started off the video. I think one of the biggest examples is Hazel and Chloe. Because Hazel, they tell you, but they never really show you. Every time they attempt to show you, it feels kind of wrong to compare to Hazel. Because Hazel sort of kind of tells you, but they tell you very little because it's all about her actions. Every time Cosmo Wanda asks Hazel, "What do you want?" she says nothing. "I'm fine. Have the greatest day of my life." And she does wishes, but every time she sees someone, she does ask for a wish for that specific person or creature having a little bit more fun of their lives. And that's it. They never give this sort of spoiled kind of point of view. It's always showing you that point of view, showing you how sympathetic she really is, showing you how nice and kind. And Chloe, that's the problem. I feel as a character is just trying to tell you what she is, but never really fully showing you. But if they do, they figure out a way to kind of not actually well executed in a way, and that's the problem. Especially the chemistry of Timmy and Chloe, because Timmy is selfish. You have about total of 9 seasons. You can see where he became super selfish and super lazy when he usually kind and sweet. Usually it's just have to be forced against him to be kind. But the only problem is the comedy is fall into sort of mean-spirited comedy. And that's sort of the motivation. And I think that's sort of the issue because they're so used to being mean-spirited jokes compared to Chloe, supposed to be kind. They struggle. And I think that is sort of the one of the major problems. Besides that, they sort of rush introduced her in the series because even first time her met her, every time you try and see her being kind, it feels sort of not right. In other words, I think that's the problem. To compared to Hazel, they take their time. She was sort of a mess. She always was freaking out, but little by little, you see her development of becoming the person she says she is. And on top of this, you have also more time with Dad to be sort of the antagonist to Hazel, seeing how he is, how he is. They actually explore what he is, sort of a narcissist, the one who wants to be worshipped, the one who wants everything you get because he's a father. But to Timmy, to compared to Dab, Timmy doesn't have any of that. He has a family who actually truly loves him, but they have basically no time for him. They had to give to the babysitter. He just doesn't get what he wants, and that's sort of the problem. Like the two dynamics comparing to Hazel and Adapt to Timmy to Chloe is night and day because they have the same formula, but they never get the formula did not work with them. To me, Chloe, the only way she could work is the fact be against Timmy to use her a couple of times at first, doing the opposite of what she wants, and against Timmy, little by little, becoming friends and kind of have this sort of frenemies, like disagreeing and agreeing of wishes. But like always, Nickelodeon probably don't want that because don't want to make Timmy a complete asshole, but he really is. Maybe that sort of was the plan, just keep them together. But once more, this was basically the final season, and you see that sort of kind of strong if you want to watch the final season. I do not recommend it. You still have trauma watching that final season. But besides that, I think there's a reason why it doesn't work. You have so many things that should work, but on paper, but you actually show it and realize you don't really have enough deepness to really get both characters of the original Fairy Odd Parents because they're episodic. They do not have the time to actually delve into it because of the comedy, the sort of structure, everything. This is why it completely fails in the beginning of the whole season. But I also believe you can execute it if you get a two-part episode to really understand who is Chloe. But the only problem is the formula. The formula is just being mean-spirited comedy, and just sort of against what Chloe is, and that's why Chloe kind of fails. To compare to Fair Our Parents, New Wish, they do have comedy, but it's sort of the rules, the goofiness, and the situation that put Hazel of what she wants, but not really what she actually wanted. And that's sort of the most focus of the comedy. And I think that's why it kind of works of New Wish. started realizing what is funny, but also you have a lot of old characters to use, different cliches, adding new rules. You have so much to play with, especially a new reimagining of the original series. Understanding it's not a reboot, it's sort of continuation, but you know something's happened. They have to rechange everything, even as sort of basically a new series. It's something that allows them to do whatever they want in making it work, especially because they have old fans writing this new version. That's why it works so much better. But I think the reason it works for me even more because it's sort of the relationship of Dab and Hazel. How Hazel wants to be friends with Dab. Dab kind of wants it, but he doesn't really understands it. Every time he's have a moment, the disagreement, he thinks the whole relationship is dead. And in actuality, it's not. Those kind of moments sort of define what New Wish is all about. You understand the relationship and the cause and effect of both characters. To compare to the original Fairy Odd Parents, Timmy and Chloe doesn't have that. They have agreements, but never have that sort of deepness. They have conclusions of the lesson of the episode, but you don't have that understanding because they're not allowed to have it because it's episodic. And I think it's one of the few things why Timmy and Chloe doesn't work. It just don't have the time, the comedy, the understanding the characters, or even have the sort of understanding how a kind character actually works with Timmy because Timmy doesn't have nothing to really be sad about. And that's the issue. You can see all the little problems adding up to compare to Hazel and Dad because Hazel has her own issues that she cannot communicate with her own age. She struggles to make new friends, struggles to do new things, struggles to be a kid. To compare to Timmy, it's completely opposite. And that's one of those interesting things. Even compared to Chloe and Hazel, it's the same thing. We don't know enough about Chloe to really understand her. She knows she's nice, she tries too hard to be kind, things going wrong, but it's just sort of the synopsis of her, but never figuring out the mechanics, how she actually works the right way. But once more, if you don't know, this type of shows, they only have a week to work per episode. So I think that also kind of hurts it. And the New Wish had, well, you had 3 months to free. You have not more than 3 months. You probably have a year or two to figure out how all the characters work or everything. You have a lot of spare time to find the formula it works for the characters. And I think this is a major reason why New Wish is successful of that dynamic and the failure of the old Fairy Odd Parents, specifically in the final season. The two characters, why they didn't work. Because you can see all the flaws if you quite literally break it down. Now, of course, I think that's it. I don't know, do I miss something specifically or not? Tell me down below. Let me know. I got nothing else to say. Just thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and have a wonderful day. Bye.